Some doors at Heartland were never meant to stay closed forever. Just when everyone thought the past was finally quiet, a single moment changes everything. A familiar presence returns, old feelings rise again, and the future of the ranch suddenly feels uncertain. Season 19, Episode 11 is not just another chapter, it's the moment Heartland takes a deep breath before everything shifts. Heartland has always been a place where time moves slowly, but emotions never truly fade. As Season 19 reaches Episode 11, the ranch feels peaceful on the surface, yet something unseen is stirring underneath. The family has been moving forward, trying to heal, trying to hold on to what matters most. But Heartland has a way of reminding everyone that the past is never really gone, it only waits for the right moment to return. In the first look of this episode, there is a quiet tension in the air. No loud arguments, no dramatic music at first, just long pauses, thoughtful faces, and moments that feel heavier than words. These are the signs that something important is coming. The ranch looks the same, but the feeling is different. It's the kind of calm that comes right before life takes an unexpected turn. This episode seems to focus deeply on emotions rather than action. Characters appear thoughtful, distant, and unsure, as if they are sensing a change before it happens. Heartland has always been about family, forgiveness, and second chances, and Episode 11 leans strongly into those themes. Every small look and every silent moment feels meaningful, as if the story is slowly preparing us for something big. What makes this moment powerful is how real it feels. Life doesn't always warn us before something changes. Sometimes it happens quietly with a memory, a sound, or a familiar place that brings everything rushing back. Episode 11 captures that feeling perfectly. It reminds us that no matter how much time passes, the bonds formed at Heartland never truly disappear. As the story moves forward, one thing becomes clear. This episode is not just about what is happening now, but about everything that came before it. The past is stepping closer, and Heartland is about to face it head on. And when it does, nothing will be exactly the same again. As Episode 11 begins to unfold, the story starts dropping quiet clues, the kind that don't shout, but stay in your mind long after the scene ends. Heartland has always been good at using silence to speak, and this episode leans into that strength more than ever. A pause that lasts a second too long. A look that feels unfinished. A moment where someone turns around as if they felt a presence behind them. These are not accidents. They are signals. What makes these moments stand out is how natural they feel. No big words are spoken. No clear answers are given. Instead, the episode lets emotions do the work. Characters seem distracted, almost restless, as if something familiar is pulling at them from the past. It's the kind of feeling you get when you know something important is about to happen, but you don't know when or how. The first look scene suggests that this episode is deeply personal. There's a sense that old memories are being awakened, not just happy ones, but the kind that were buried to protect the heart. Heartland has always shown that love and pain often live side by side, and Episode 11 doesn't shy away from that truth. The atmosphere feels heavier, slower, and more thoughtful, making every small detail matter. One of the most powerful parts of this section is how the ranch itself feels like a character. Familiar places suddenly seem filled with meaning again. Paths that were once walked together. Spaces that hold memories of laughter, loss, and promises made long ago. The episode uses these places to remind us that history lives in every corner of Heartland. This section of the story doesn't give answers, it builds anticipation. It prepares the ground emotionally, so when the moment finally arrives, it hits harder. Viewers can feel that something long unresolved is about to step back into the present. And when it does, it won't just affect one person. It will touch everyone connected to Heartland. By the end of this part, one thing is clear. The past is no longer distant. It's close. It's watching. And it's ready to be faced. There are moments in Heartland that don't need words to feel powerful, and Episode 11 seems built around one of those moments. This is where the waiting ends. The feeling that has been following the characters quietly now begins to take shape. The past doesn't rush in loudly, it arrives slowly, carefully, almost respectfully, as if it knows how much damage it once caused. What makes this part of the episode feel different is the emotional weight behind every reaction. When something long lost finally returns, it doesn't just bring answers. It brings questions, doubts, and emotions that were never fully healed. The characters are not ready, even if they thought they were. You can see it in the way they pause, in the way they struggle to find the right words, and in the way old feelings rise without warning. This section feels deeply human. No one is painted as right or wrong. Instead, the story shows how complicated love and absence can be. Sometimes people leave not because they want to, but because they don't know how to stay. Episode 11 gently reminds us of that truth. The return is not treated as a celebration or a disaster, it's treated as reality, messy and emotional. The strength of this moment comes from restraint. Heartland doesn't rush to explain everything. It lets the audience sit with the discomfort, the hope, and the fear all at once. You can sense that this return will force conversations that were avoided for years. Conversations that could heal, or reopen wounds that never fully closed. What's most powerful is how this moment connects the past to the future. This return is not just about what happened before, it's about what happens next. Choices will have to be made. Trust will be tested. And the meaning of family will once again be questioned and redefined. By the end of this section, one truth stands out clearly. Heartland has reached a turning point. The past is no longer a memory. It's present. And from here on, every path forward will be shaped by this moment. Some moments don't explode with drama, they settle quietly and change everything from the inside. Episode 11 of Season 19 feels like one of those moments. After the return, the story doesn't rush forward. Instead, it slows down, allowing the weight of what just happened to sink in. This is where Heartland shows its true strength, not in shock, but in emotion. In this part of the episode, the focus shifts to how everyone begins to process what this return truly means. No one reacts the same way. Some feel hope, some feel confusion, and some feel fear of losing control over the life they've built. Heartland has always shown that family is complicated, and this moment proves it once again. Love doesn't erase pain, and time doesn't always heal everything. What makes this section stand out is how it hints at the future without fully revealing it. Small conversations feel heavier than usual. Simple choices suddenly carry deep meaning. The episode suggests that this return could lead to healing, but only if the past is faced honestly. Avoiding it is no longer an option. There's also a strong feeling that this episode is setting up something bigger. Episode 11 doesn't feel like an ending on its own, but it clearly reshapes the road ahead. It reminds viewers that Heartland is not just about staying together, it's about growing, even when growth hurts. Sometimes moving forward means opening doors you thought were closed forever. As this section comes to a close, the message is clear. Heartland has changed. The wrench will still stand. The family will still fight for each other. But the story has taken a new direction. The past has been acknowledged. The present has been shaken. And the future is now full of unanswered questions. Not every episode changes the story in obvious ways. But episode 11 feels like the kind that quietly reshapes everything moving forward. After the return and the emotional reactions, the focus shifts to meaning. This is where the episode asks a bigger question, not who came back, but why now, and what Heartland is meant to become because of it. This section feels reflective and thoughtful. Characters begin to look inward, not just at each other. Past choices start to matter again, and decisions that once felt final suddenly feel open for discussion. Heartland has always shown that life doesn't move in straight lines, and episode 11 reinforces that idea. Sometimes the path you thought was behind you turns out to be part of your future. What makes this moment unique is how it balances hope and uncertainty. There is a sense that healing is possible, but it won't come easily. Trust takes time. Forgiveness takes honesty. And Heartland never pretends otherwise. The episode gently reminds us that love is not proven by perfection, but by the willingness to stay and face hard truths. There is also a strong feeling that this episode marks the emotional center of the season. Everything before it was building toward this moment, and everything after it will be shaped by it. Relationships may grow stronger, or they may be tested in new ways. Either way, nothing moves forward unchanged. As this section settles, one message becomes clear. Heartland is not about avoiding pain, it's about learning how to live with it and still choose family. Episode 11 doesn't give all the answers, but it gives something just as important: direction. And for Heartland, that direction always leads back to the heart. Some Heartland episodes fade quietly into the season, but this one feels different. Episode 11 carries an emotional weight that lingers even after the screen goes dark. It's not because of big twists or loud moments, but because it touches something familiar: the idea that no matter how far someone goes, they are never truly gone from the places they once loved. This section feels like a message to longtime fans. It honors the history of the show, the years of memories, and the emotional journeys that viewers have followed for so long. The episode seems to understand that Heartland is more than a story, it's a feeling. A reminder of home, family, and the people who shape us, even when they leave. What makes this moment stand out is how honest it feels. There is no promise that everything will be fixed right away. No easy answers. Just the truth that life is complicated, and love often comes with unfinished chapters. That honesty is what makes Heartland special, and episode 11 leans fully into it. This part of the story also strengthens the bond between the show and its audience. Fans who have waited, hoped, and wondered will feel seen. The episode doesn't rush past emotions, it sits with them. It allows viewers to feel the joy, the sadness, and the uncertainty all at once. By the time this episode ends, it becomes clear why it matters so much. It reminds us why we keep coming back to Heartland season after season. Because at its core, Heartland isn't just about horses or a ranch, it's about people, choices, and the courage to face the past. Episode 11 doesn't shout for attention. It earns it. And that's why it will stay with fans long after it's over. As episode 11 comes to a close, it doesn't try to wrap everything up neatly, and that's exactly why it works. Heartland has never been a story about perfect endings. It's about moments that change people, moments that stay with them, and moments that quietly shape what comes next. This episode ends in that same spirit, leaving viewers with feelings instead of answers. There's a sense that something important has been set in motion. Not everything is said. Not every emotion is resolved. But the truth has finally stepped into the light, and that alone changes everything. The characters move forward carrying new understanding, even if they're unsure where the road leads. And that uncertainty feels real, honest, and deeply Heartland. What makes this ending powerful is how gentle it is. No dramatic goodbye. No loud promise of what's coming next. Just the feeling that the story has shifted, and the future will no longer follow the same path. The past has been faced, and now the present has a chance to grow into something new. For fans, this ending feels emotional because it reflects real life. Some moments don't end chapters, they open doors. Episode 11 feels like one of those doors. It invites change, healing, and difficult conversations that still need to happen. And it reminds us that at Heartland, love is not about holding on to what was, but having the courage to move forward together. As the screen fades, one thing feels certain: Heartland's story is far from over. This episode doesn't close the book, it turns the page. And whatever comes next, it will be shaped by this moment, this return, and the heart that keeps bringing everyone back home.